I'll be sharing a story of transformation from a myopic or a child that had a very, very low self-esteem to a child that got to improve over time. And it's my wish that as you listen, you'd feel a form of transformation within yourself also. So while I was growing up, I had a very, very poor self-esteem. The reason why I'm doing this live broadcast now is for you to view 2022. I know that it is as much as you have inside of you, that is what would reflect outside. You cannot have a negative mindset inside and expect positive things to happen. And I want you to look at 2022 as a year of productivity, as a year of accomplishment. Several things happened to me last year. Several things, from my book to different certifications to my programs. That's the camera is me itself, and different accomplishment that I had, and that was because of the kind of mindset I had to put in for myself. So what's it called? So I'll just start with a story. While I was growing up, I had a very, very poor self-esteem. I felt that I was not worth much, and I could not really stand in front of people to speak, to talk. The way people see me nowadays, they just assume that, okay, maybe this guy was born with this whole writing or this speaking thing. I was not born that way. I was very naive. I was very scared, and so because I felt that I was not worth much, I tried to avoid everything possible that would put me on the spot. And while I was in primary school, secondary school, I avoided things like the march past, cultural dance, speech, presentations, debates, all those kind of things that just put you on the spot, and you're expected to just speak, be fluent, and make sense to people. So I was scared that if I stand in front of people, I would just get swallowed up. So I avoided anything that would put me on the spot. So it happened like that. Once they are looking for people that would volunteer for a graduation, cultural dance or whatsoever, I run away. If you're looking for someone for a march past, I dodge or whatsoever. I was avoiding several things. I was not just interested. I was scared that I would not do well if I tried all those kind of things. So it was it happened like that in my primary school, in the secondary school, and by the time I go to the institution at the University of Lagos, I had survived that way. In the first year, second year, this is what I do. Once they are given an assignment, especially a group assignment, I would just do this. I would tell my colleagues that, let me volunteer to write, let me volunteer to edit, let me volunteer to pay for the printing or whatever. Don't let me present, please. I just don't want to present. I just don't want to stand in front of people to speak. And I did that for the first year, the second year, and the third year. It was something that I felt that I could avoid for a very long time. And I survived that way, first year, second year, third year. And by the time it got to the third year, actually, when it got to the third year, there's a particular course we're doing in terms of publishing, book publishing, because I studied English at the University of Lagos, and as a student of English, you should have an idea of book editing, book publishing, and all those things. So we had a course on book publishing, and one of the things that we're supposed to be tested in is in form of presentation. And I think the course was on public speaking. Actually, the course was on public speaking, so we were supposed to present. And I felt it was going to be the normal, usual group thing. Until that day, I was heading back to the what's it called? I was heading to the school to class in the morning, and I met my friend. We bought the cab together, and he was saying, you know what, Joseph, today there's a test. Because I usually go out to work as a student. I've already studied photography, so I go out to work. I was already working, so I was earning a little change, and in a way I was known to a point, to an extent, as Joseph Pictures. You sabi that Joseph Pictures now, that guy really take pictures. Do you understand? So I was known to a point or to an extent, and it just felt like that. It just happened that way. And when my friend said we are going to be having tests, what I replied to him was that, you know what, that's smalls. When we reach inside that test, or we go raw farm, because I felt it was just the normal, usual testing. That okay, once you sit down for test, ask you what is this thing, things that you do not know. You probably ask your friend. That was the mindset I was going with. And by the time I got to the class, the woman said, okay, you're going to be making a presentation from the letter A to Z. We'll be calling your name alphabetical order. Meanwhile, my name is, like everyone know now, as I introduced myself earlier, I'm Joseph Adeleke. But of course, the surname comes first, and to the surname that we're using to call out the people that will come to present. I remember I said that I was always scared of standing in front of people, so it started with, Adeleke, that's A-D, right? So it started with A-A, A-B, A-C, and A-D. And they started calling when they called the first person, the person came out, gave you a topic on the spot, then you present. It's not as if you'll be given a topic a long time ago and all this kind of thing. It's a topic on the spot, and you're expected to present it and make sense out of it. That presentation was a pass mark whether or not you're going to pass that course, and it was a compulsory course. So what happened was I was scared at the back. I sat down at the far back of the class, and in that class we were about 150 plus, and I was just scared. I was scared. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was worried that I would be swallowed up by the crowd. And the most crazy aspect of the whole thing is that every damn person in that class know me, and they know me as Joseph Pictures. Do you get it? And everybody in that class knew me. So when it was time, they called. Okay, so the next person for his presentation is Adeleke Joseph. Then I am meant to just stand up and go to the front and do whatever I want to do and leave. But the moment they called Adeleke Joseph, the entire crowd started shouting, Joseph Pictures, Joseph Pictures, Joseph Pictures. And you know how terrifying this thing can be once people start calling out your name in a very, very crazy way. It started with my friends, and they started calling it out in ways that you start feeling as if they called my name out in a way that you start feeling that okay, they love you. But trust me, that love was as if they were killing me slowly. So I was scared, very, very much scared. When they were calling Joseph Pictures, Joseph Pictures, Joseph Pictures, I was walking to the front of the class slowly, and I was frightened. I was shaking. I did not know what to do. And by the time I got to the front of everyone and I started talking, okay, by the time I got to the front of everyone, my lecturer said, so Joseph Adeleke, I realized that you're very much popular among your friends here. So you just do this in less than 5 minutes. Make a presentation about a car. Tell us what you know about a car. And the crowd would be the judge whether or not you've made a good impression or not. And I stood there and I did not know what to say. I just stood there looking. I stood there and was confused on where to start. I was confused on whether or not if I say anything, that thing that I would say would make any sense. The most crazy aspect of it was that morning while I was going to the class, I said it, I bought a car to the class. So it was so easy. I used the car every day to class. So why on earth could I not just say something about what I do see every day? And I was just so confused. I was so confused. And I did not know where to start from. I was just looking. I stood in front of everybody just looking. I was looking. And the woman was looking at me and was expecting that I say something. And I was not saying anything. I was just scared that if I say something, I would not make any sense. So it just happened like that. And when I couldn't say anything, she just said, I expected that you would have something to say. I did not know that you are this dumb to have not said anything. I tell people that it's one thing to use cane and flog me. It's another thing to say something so terrible like that to me. I felt so shattered. I felt so bad. I felt so bad about myself. And I had my friend after the class telling me that, Joseph, you don't do well at all. Do you understand this thing? Naka, you know if you talk about it, that kind of thing. And I had no reason whatsoever why I couldn't say anything. I knew within myself that it was just a terrible way that I have perceived myself, that I had low self-esteem, and it was something that I needed to work on rather. So it was at that point, that was the turning point in my life, that I just said that, you know what, these people that I was supposed to stand in front of to speak, they are not witches or they are not wizards, and they are humans like me, and I can stand in front of them and express myself. I should not be scared whatsoever thing I have composed within myself to say to them. I should be able to say it very, very much, or very, very well rather. So I started challenging myself. If I'm in a group of meeting, I was expected to make contributions, I would just stand up and just say something. If I'm in the church and I'm having something like, you know what, I need someone to read John 3:16 to the church, and I just quickly stand up and I start reading. And the most scary part of it was that while I was reading, I was stuttering, and I was stuttering. I would make like, for God so loved the world. I kept pushing. I kept doing that. I kept stammering and reading. I kept making contributions and stammering. Do you understand? And it happened like that for a very, very, very long time till I started gaining confidence in myself. Then I started challenging myself. Then I started standing in front of people to actually say something nice, say something better, say something wonderful. Then it felt like as if I had so much sense to deliver. That was just how the whole change happened to me, and that was the story for me anyways. But out of the story, I realized that there were 3 steps that I took to overcoming that kind of fear, that kind of challenge, that kind of problem that I was having. I realized that there were just 3 things that I did majorly, and I'm gonna be grouping them into A, B, C. That's the A is for accepting. That's okay. I titled it the 3 steps of breaking a low self-esteem issue, because that was what I suffered from, and that was the 3 steps that I've realized that had worked for me, and it can work for anybody this year. If you know that there's something that you are not good at, and you want to be good at it in 2022, then I feel that this idea would make more sense to you. So I titled it the ABC steps to breaking low self-esteem issues. And the first one is to accept. A, accept. B is to believe, and C is to confess. So the accepting part of it is to accept that yes, I have a low self-esteem issue and I need to deal with it. It was at that point that I got insulted by my lecturer that I realized that, you know what, this is not an evil spirit from my village chasing me. This is me chasing me, and I need to do something about it. So I had to accept that, okay, I had a low self-esteem issue and there's something that I need to do about it. And believing that you can do something remarkable to change it. And it was that belief system that made me consistent in the fact that when I go to the church and we are asked to read the Bible and I stutter, but I continue reading, and I'm in a meeting and we're asked to make a suggestion and I stand up and I make that suggestion. So it was that belief system that made me change such mindset. It's such belief system that has worked for me, and I believe that it can work for anybody. So the third part of it is to confess. You have to confess positive things to yourself. When people bring limiting belief to you and say you cannot do something, no, just brush it off and say, yes, I can do something remarkable. I can do something good with my life. I can do something awesome. I am awesome. I am valuable. I don't really like people with a poor mindset around me, because I feel that I have so many things to offer to the world, and I just don't want someone with a limiting belief to break that kind of faith or a positive mindset that I have been trying to build over time. So if you want to confess positive things about what you're going to be doing this year, you need to have a circle of influence of friends that breeds productivity, that make things worthwhile for you. You have to have goal-oriented people. You have to have achievers by your side. You have to have amazing people by your side. And it's these people that you have circled around you that would influence your 2022. And there is nothing you can do if you do not have such people around you, such amazing people trying to push you, trying to make things work for you. This 2022, don't just say that I want to do this thing. Make step to doing those things. Don't just say you want to. Do them. Just don't worry about how it's gonna get done. Just keep adding value. Just make sure that you keep adding value. I hope with this you're gonna be charged up to do something about that confidence issue that you have. Whether you're scared that this goal that you set for yourself this 2022 will not be possible, or it would be, because whatever would happen this 2022, you would be the one to decide. Thank you, and God bless. Bye.